From Last Scout Radio, this is the LSR Report, and we are going to be taking a look at something that has come up that really surprised me, and that is United States Navy chiefs caught up in Bahrain sex and corruption scandals. From the Navy Times. A series of criminal investigation into Bahrain sex trade has netted several Navy chief petty officers, according to charge sheet provided to Navy Times. While officials count 6 known defendants facing court-martial proceedings in the Middle East and in the United States, including a lieutenant commander, Navy Times has court records tied to 4 sailors. Although their alleged crimes and the tawdry details attached to them seem similar, military officials insist that the 6 cases spun out of separate Naval Criminal Investigation Service probes and are not connected to each other. NCIS has opened separate investigations into allegations involving these sailors. The Navy is unable to comment on the details while the investigation is ongoing, said Commander Joshua Fry, spokesman for U.S. Naval Forces Central Command. Often shortened to NAVCENT, the command controls not only the Navy's 5th Fleet but several maritime task forces operating in the Red and Arabian Seas, the Gulf of Oman, and the Persian Gulf. It wasn't possible for Navy Times to determine independently whether the ongoing NCIS Operation High Tide probes were separate or linked together. Military officials redacted the code names of the cooperating source or sources in the records provided by Navy Times. All the defendants have maintained their innocence and their attorneys continue to contest the charges. Military prosecutors accused Chief Operations Specialist Jason Waitman Grant of participating in late 2017 ventures cited in the Jaffa neighborhood of Manama, the capital of Bahrain, which recruited, transported, and obtained prostitutes by means of fraud or coercion. Questioned by NCIS agent on October 5th, Grant allegedly lied when he claimed he was never conversed with anyone regarding housing prostitutes and making money off their sexual acts, according to his charge sheet. He also allegedly allowed an unnamed third party to pay his apartment rent, information he was required to disclose to his commanding officer. Military records show that Grant was assigned to the Naval Surface Squadron 5 in Bahrain before he was moved to the Transient Personnel Unit in Norfolk 5 months ago. Gunner's mate, 2nd Class Jihad Hobison Littlejohn, is now assigned to the same Norfolk unit, but he served aboard the patrol ship Hurricane until March 9th, according to his military records. Beginning in June 2017 in Manama, he allegedly paid 1,000 Bahrainian dinars, about $2,650, to obtain persons who would perform commercial sex acts, confiscated the passport of an unnamed person, conspired with an NCIS source to recruit and harbor sex workers, engaged in sexual acts with a person not his spouse for money, and sold booze bought at the Navy Exchange in Bahrain to a third party. The Cyclone-class Hurricane is home-ported in Manama. Chief Logistics Specialist Calvin Halfacre of Coastal Riverine Group 2 in Virginia Beach, Virginia, faces both solicitation and rape charges. He's accused of 3 rapes allegedly committed in Jafar on June 17th, June 24th, and September 12th of 2017. Because the way Navy officials redacted the passages in Halfacre's charge sheet, it remains unclear whether investigators suspected there was one or more alleged victims. In September 2017, Halfacre allegedly conspired with 2 unidentified sailors to impede a federal criminal investigation by revealing the contact information of an NCIS source. He also faced charges for allegedly procuring prostitution services in Bahrain twice in July 2017 and on another occasion 2 months later. He was assigned to the Coastal Riverine Groups 2 Bahrain detachment between late 2016 and early 2018, according to military records. Now with Norfolk's Transient Personnel Unit, Chief Logistics Specialist Earl Anthony McLaughlin has been charged with attempting to impede the investigation into Halfacre. McLaughlin was assigned to NAVCENT in Manama at the time of his arrest, according to military records. NAVCENT's Fry told Navy Times that commanders in Bahrain have initiated an awareness initiative that includes comprehensive ethical and character development training plus special instruction on combating sex trafficking. The goal of this campaign is to raise awareness of the issue, reinforce Navy core values, and promote bystander intervention by encouraging sailors to speak up when wrongdoing or destructive behaviors are occurring, he said in a written statement emailed to Navy Times. The campaign also includes ongoing law enforcement and investigative measures to identify and appropriately address any further activity discovered. The Pentagon takes human trafficking seriously. In a January 11th statement that was widely circulated, Anthony M. Curta, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Military Personnel Policy, compared trafficking sex workers with modern-day slavery. It not only destroys the lives of those victimized, but also destroys countless families and poses a direct threat to the security and well-being of the entire world, Curtis said. One of the Pentagon's top initiatives is MEMEX, spelled MEMEX, a software system being developed by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It promises to help law enforcement, military commanders, and intelligence agencies track human trafficking patterns on the Internet and bring criminals to justice. Tampa Bay Special Operations Command also has partnered with the National Association to Protect Children and the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Homeland Security Investigations to create the Human Exploitation Rescue Operative Child Rescue Corps. It was to eradicate the sexual exploitation of children. Navy officials declined to say how these sailors came to the attention of federal law enforcement. Military attorneys representing Grant, Littlejohn, Halfacre, and McLaughlin also did not respond to Navy Time requests seeking comment. Originally from Ohio, Grant enlisted in the Navy in 2000 and served aboard the frigate Robert G. Bradley and the destroyers Decatur and Howard. His personal decorations include the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal and 7 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals. He was advanced to Chief Petty Officer on August 16, 2014. An Illinois native, Halfacre enlisted in the Navy in 1997 and became a chief on August 16, 2016, while assigned to Fleet Air Forward and Atsugi, Japan. He previously served aboard the Fast Combat Support Ship Seattle and the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. He arrived in Bahrain on December 1, 2016, according to military records. Halfacre's personal decorations include the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal and 3 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals. A New Yorker, McLaughlin enlisted in the Navy in 2001 and became a chief on July 16, 2015. He served aboard the guided missile cruiser Chancellorville and the carrier Lincoln before joining Virginia-based Marine Helicopter Squadron 1 in 2014. Popularly known as Marine One, the squadron's helicopters transport the President and Vice President of the United States plus senior Pentagon officials. McLaughlin was detached from the unit in early 2017 and posted to Bahrain. McLaughlin's personal decorations include the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal and 2 Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals, according to his military records. A New Jersey native, Littlejohn, enlisted in the Navy in early 2011. Before joining the crew of the Hurricane, he served aboard the amphibious warship Bonhomme Richard and Essex, according to military records. Navy officials acknowledge that Littlejohn's personal life might not be updated, but he's listed as having received 6 awards and decorations, including the Navy with E ribbon. And that is the latest. It was just published yesterday, and like I said, I was surprised to find it and thought it was important to get out there. And so now you have a little bit more information than you did not have before. From Last Scout Radio, this has been the LSR Report. I've been your host, Choctaw the Last Scout.